Hi everyone, I'm Miss Morales and I wanted to spend some time talking to you about setting up your classroom and getting organized. So today we're going to talk about what do you want your classroom to look like, what to do with all those K-12 materials, and then also talk about how to create a workable schedule, something that works for you and your family. All right. So when you think of your classroom, I want you guys to take a minute, maybe even want to do some searches on Pinterest or something like that, and get an idea in your mind. Visualize what your room, your setup is going to look like. This is the space that you are going to use all day for several hours of your day, for a whole school year at least, right? So you want to make this space be inviting. Maybe you want to go to the dollar store and get some charts to hang up. There's lots of things that you can find for super cheap. You can even make things with note cards. You just want to have a space that's pleasing to the eye, somewhere that you feel comfortable in working with. It's not super like full of, other things that are not part of your classroom. So really think about that. Think about how that's going to look and make sure that it's a place that you and your student are ready to learn. All right, so I know you guys get a ton of boxes from K-12. I actually have a ton of boxes sitting on my floor to my right now that I just got the other day with brand new K-12 materials. So the very first thing you want to do is open them. Open them up, sort them, make sure that everything is there because, sometimes mistakes happen, accidents happen, you might miss a book here or there. So please go over the checklist that you're not missing anything. And then you have something for every single subject, okay? Now, once you've got all that stuff organized and, well, you've got it open and it's all spread out, now you want to organize it. You might want to get a bookshelf, create some kind of way that you know where everything is, right? So one thing that I recommend for my families, and I'm going to grab it for you. I'm going to put on the light here is book boxes. I don't know if you guys have seen these. It has my son's name on it, Eddie. He had these from last school year. But these book boxes you can get, they were like $1 at Target for one of these. If not, I'm sure you can find them in tons of places. They're plastic. There's kinds that are, cardboard. You can use like even the boxes the K-12 came in and make them a little bit smaller. But anyway, so what you can do is you can actually, instead of having, a name, you can have by subject. So you can fill these boxes in with your math stuff. Fill another one with your reading, another one with your science and history and whatever the case, all the subjects you have, right? So you can use these kind of boxes to have everything in. If this is too small, you might want a full shelf of it. Then also what I recommend is using folders, like just simple folders like this, that you can label Monday through Friday. So one for Monday, one Tuesday, one Wednesday, and so forth. And what you can do is you can take your materials in math. So let's say this is our math one. And I've looked at my advanced prep and I know for Monday I'm going to need this page in the workbook and this, other page or whatever just for math, and I can grab it and put it in this folder. Then I know what I need for literature and I could put it in the same folder for Monday. I could do the same thing for science, same thing for history, and just sort it all in one easy to, reach place so that come Monday morning when you're going to start learning with your child, you've got it all organized, it's all ready to go in this folder, and you just open it up and you're not like, okay, hold on, gotta go find this book over there, gotta go find this book over there. Maybe your materials aren't organized yet. So while you're getting started, you're in the first few days of school, take some time, get organized, know where all your things are, and then every Sunday night, get ready for the week by using your folders or a book box. You could have a Monday book box if that works better, if you've got big books to sort through. So organize, get ready. You want to make sure that you are prepared before you start teaching your student. You're the teacher, so you really got to think about this. How am I going to teach this to them? So you want to make sure that you know what you're talking about when you sit down to work with them. Remember, this is your space. This is your experience. Make it your own. If you like artwork, include artwork. If you want it to look a little bit more adultish, it is totally up to you. I recommend looking on Pinterest and looking for fun ideas. Whatever you want is what you can make of it. Oh, also really quick with the classroom thing, I've got kindergartners all the way to fifth graders. Sometimes they don't want to sit in a chair all day. that's okay. You know, you're at home. If you want to get a yoga ball, one of those big yoga balls to sit on, they can sit on there. If sometimes they need to lay on the floor, let them lay on the floor. It really doesn't matter your body's position for learning. You know, sometimes some of us learn best just sitting in a different way. Um, do that. You know, you don't have to be super strict about it. Like, just kind of random fact about me. When I sit, I just have to have one leg up. Like, I just hope, you know, one leg is bent and just up on the chair. That's just how I work most of the day, you know. So be flexible with them, you know, take it outside sometimes if the weather's nice. You have a lot of flexibility here, so please take advantage of that. All right. So the other thing to talk about is your schedule. You're just getting started. Be flexible with yourself. Be kind to yourself. You know, get an idea of how you want your day to go. Try it out. If it doesn't work, change it. You know, this is your day. Make it work for you and your student. Some kids prefer doing reading in the morning. Maybe that's when they're, you know, at their best. Maybe they're at their best in the middle of the day after lunch. You are totally able to change things around to however fits best for you and your student. I do recommend trying to keep to a schedule. You know, maybe you want to figure one out, post it, like, you know, make it on a poster board or make it in a notebook, just something easy, something you can refer back to. Because sometimes if you're not on your schedule, you can spend way more time than necessary on a course. You know, I don't want my kids to get burnt out on this, and it's super easy to do that at home because you're like, oh, we have so much time, you know. Don't burn them out. You know, use your 1 hour of math. That's all we get, 1 hour of math. If we're at an hour and 15, stop and move on to something else and come back to it later. But try not to go too past on time for each scheduled course. And, you know, try to keep it the same every day. It just helps with the routine and your students know what to expect. You know, it's 10 o'clock. We know right now we're doing literature. Or we know right now it's 15 minutes of vocabulary time. Or it's lunchtime. Like, they need that and you need that to help make sure that you stay on track this school year. So remember, it's very flexible. It's up to you how you want to do it. You know, sometimes I have parents who work days and they do school at night. Totally fine. You just want to make sure that you've got something that works for you. Now, here's something I want to point out. You're at home, especially for us, you know, moms, when we're at home, we like look around our house and we're like, oh man, we've got laundry to do. Or, you know, Susie called me and she's wants to take me out, wants to meet for lunch, or, you know, things like that. Like, really try to make your schooling your priority, you know, Monday through Friday. We want to make sure our kids know that, you know, we do have to do school. School is important. We have certain hours of the day that we're going to do school. And that's what takes priority. Ignore the dishes for a minute, ignore the laundry, and do math. You know what I mean? That will come back later, but you want to make sure, you know, you've taken this on, so you want to make sure that this is important. This is a lifestyle change for you and your student. You're not just like, here's some books, good to go. You know, this is going to change things for us. You're going to go through a transition, so give yourself grace as you're going through this transition. But do make sure that you keep your academics as a priority throughout your Monday through Friday day. Okay. With that, you know, when I tell you about your transition, you know, you're not just doing a transition on like the way you live your everyday life. You might also be changing your transition with your relationship with your student. You are going from mom and dad to teacher. There are different rules in place when you are with your teacher than when you are with mom and dad. So it may be challenging some days, you know, to get them to do exactly what you'd like to do, but establish rules, establish routines, you know, just make it, this is what we do. The more you do something, the more they'll just be like, okay, this is what we do now, you know? So keeping that routine, keeping that schedule is very important to make sure that they are successful academically. All right. So hopefully you got something out of that. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to your homeroom's teacher. We so appreciate you guys watching, and we hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.